Hello, welcome to FPL the Onion episode 19. I am Ash, and a bit of a change of plan tonight. Long story short, due to technical issues with where I am at the moment, I'm away on holiday for a couple of weeks in the Wye Valley near the Cotswolds. The internet here is so poor that we just can't get Nick joining us tonight. So Nick and I just spent a half an hour or so trying to figure things out. It could also be that I've forgotten to bring something that I needed from home to get things working, but a mixture of that and the lag between us both, it just meant that we couldn't record tonight together. So I'm going to do what will be a pretty short episode on my own, run through the slides I've got, and then Nick can comment on those and answer a few questions I had and some comments that he's probably got on how his week's going and what his plans are for next week. And then we might do something later in the week, so watch this space. So apologies for that. It will just be myself. It will be a shorter one, which it was going to be anyway. To be honest, I'm not feeling 100%. I'm basically feeling a little bit ill. So yeah, straight after finishing this, it's off to bed to hopefully feel a bit better tomorrow before doing a bit more driving around the UK. Okay, so apologies if things are a little bit disjointed today. Normally, certainly the one thing that's handy with having two people is a bit of thinking time in between. So it'll just be myself today. So I'll try and not forget anything with every slide I've got here. Let me just jump back actually. So yeah, please join our league. We've got one new entry in the last week, so thanks very much to blimey, is the name Waiting for Godos, I think. I can't remember the name of the actual FPL player, apologies. But he's come in sort of mid-table with us, so welcome to the league. Paddy Panic is 2 points behind you. He's got 8 to play this week, including Coutinho captain, so things are really tight between yourself and him. And then down at the other end of the league, Tom, who's been on the pod before, he's 21 points behind me, and we were joking the other day on the channel in some of the comments on the last video that whoever gets the wooden spoon is well, I was thinking that'd be good to avoid, but yeah, I don't know if you know, Tom, but wooden spoon actually might be more expensive than the curly whirly, so we'll have to see. If I have to buy it for myself, then that'll be quite good in a way. But yeah, 21 points is pretty tight down there. And another thing I thought, Nick, do you actually like curly whirlies? You potentially going to buy one for yourself, or is that actually something you're not even going to eat? Just some random thing I was going to ask you. Okay, review of our game week. So we're both on free hit, of course. This is game week 37 to date. We're recording on I'm recording on Wednesday night during the Europa League final. So the Liverpool game was last night, and there's 3 more games tomorrow. So I'm on 56 minus 0, of course with a free hit, no hits. It's going okay. The captaincy was a bit frustrating, and it was interesting on Twitter. I don't know, I felt that there was quite a template forming, which I was a bit surprised at. I think Vardy was probably the obvious omission from mine. I think a lot of people did go sort of double Everton defence, double Villa. It was quite interesting because FPL the Wire last week for sure were really bigging up. Well, Late Riser was really bigging up double, at least going one Liverpool attacker, or midfielder, which Nick did do. I wonder if that influenced him at all. And I was quite bought into that until I think it was actually the Saturday morning before the deadline, and Leicester really came up on my radar a bit. I saw a few people talking about Vardy and Maddison, and I thought, yeah, with that rotation soon after the FA Cup final, even though Jota, because of course we had that information, they did play 120 minutes, a lot of people, but and he got sort of, was it 95 minutes or something, so maybe it was a surprise that he actually started. But still, I just thought that was a little bit risky to go Liverpool. Of course, he got an assist, so a return is okay. But yeah, obviously not going Maddison would have been pretty painful. So I was really happy with that. Yeah, but I feel a bit bad maybe that we didn't discuss Leicester too much on the pod last week. Nick and I were chatting on WhatsApp a bit, and we did have a little chapter on it. But I think we were both a bit nervy about going for it, given the recent rotation, and if Vardy was going to actually recover from niggles and be able to play twice in a week effectively. So I mean, we'll see against Chelsea, but obviously owners are going to be delighted that he's played that Watford game and come away with what did he get? 13. Madison 15, I think, and Barnes 16. So anyone that doubled up on Leicester absolutely loving life. The one thing I was pretty annoyed about was the captain. That really went down to the wire. Didn't leave myself an easy plan logistically to do my captain. I arrived at a friend's house on Saturday at about 10:15 with 15 minutes to go, and I had my captain on Son, and I was pretty happy with that up until then, and I just got the jitters that wasn't a good idea. So I moved it to what I thought was a kind of a differential kind of pick in Ings, because the Watkins news suggested that maybe he wouldn't play, or at least not the first game. But maybe that was again overthinking it a little bit, as I have sometimes done with captains. And Richarlison obviously very high EO, and blindly that 3-2 against Brentford could have been a lot worse for Everton with their red card and stuff. So it was 2 red cards, I think. So, but owners of Richarlison are going to be well happy with 12. So a bit annoyed I didn't get that, but otherwise my team was kind of template-ish, and I think I had a 30,000 green arrow, so got to be pretty happy with that. Just for comparison and a bit of meta jokey stuff I've got in the top right there, I made 26 transfers on the free hit, and Tom, I'm comparing myself to you quite a lot on this episode, and here we are again. So you did 22 just out of interest, so we were not that tinker heavy, let's say. When we get to Nick's numbers, he was a lot more of the tinker man. Let's just see if there's anything else I wanted to cover on this one. Yeah, I've got 9 to play, including the captain. Moving on to Nick's game week, he's only got 7 to play and is doing a little bit worse than myself. He's still on a green arrow. I think he's gone up 200 places. Big differences were he didn't have Richarlison, and obviously didn't captain him. He went with Son. I mean, he could have had 2 in that game. I'm not sure if XG was that high, but such a lethal finisher, you expect him to put one of those away. So he's obviously going to be disappointed with that. Kane returning was good, but not the right Spurs asset maybe. And then Vice on Vardy. Fair play for going Vardy. That's even more differential than Maddison. But yeah, same defence as me. Kane and Ings the same. Jota obviously is going to be happy with an assist in a 2-1, but again, maybe listen to late riser, he thought that might be quite one-sided, but with it going to 120 minutes in the final, perhaps not. So yeah, let me know, Nick, what your thoughts are there. So yeah, 42 transfers you made on free hit compared to my, 26? Yeah, so close to double the transfers. You were tinkering quite a lot, which I thought was quite funny. Paddy Power made 34, your main rival in the league. So certainly you were the most tinkery for the free hit, which I just thought was quite funny. Okay, moving on to the top 10k reviews. So Richarlison on the left there with the EO of everyone in the top 10k, obviously really popular, and the only person to get 10 plus points other than Maddison. So that was quite interesting, and again, fair play to the captain is there. Son obviously blanking, De Bruyne, Cancelo, Kane, all singlers. Kane didn't blank, but no huge scores amongst those guys. And yeah, I was really happy to have Maddison. Vardy, I guess, just not that highly owned, but obviously he got 13. So of course we've got the games on Thursday to go, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the bottom right image showing how popular Richarlison was. 39% captained. Obviously he's owned by a lot of people as well, so that's why his EO was so high. If you didn't captain Son, obviously that worked out nicely for you because he was quite popular, and over 100% EO. And the chip usage in the top right reflects that most people have now played all their chips. Still, I think 4% of the top 10k have got free hit 2 to play, so that's quite interesting. People saving it for next week. Excuse me. Right, onto the ticker, which is obviously very simplistic now because it's only got one game week to cover, and haven't changed the numbers on the left here, which is the information that goes into this to give a red and blue reflection of what I think the fixture difficulties is for the next few weeks, but just for 38 obviously. It likes Chelsea. That's the biggest blue of the attacking ticker, which is the left of the two images. It likes Leicester against Southampton, that being a bold fixture as well. So that means that Southampton have conceded a lot of 10 plus point hauls against them when playing away from home, basically. It likes Spurs. They're pretty blue, obviously, against Norwich, whipping boys. That could be a big one, and obviously Spurs have got something to play for. Liverpool, it doesn't mind too much. Not a bold fixture, but Wolves have been really indifferent recently. City is bluer than Liverpool, but I don't know, the sort of consensus seems to be that Villa are going to put up a bit more of a fight than Wolves might do, and the whole narrative that Gerrard might try and do something for Liverpool and try and make it difficult. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, but I can't imagine Villa downing tools for that game. Excuse me. Also likes Palace at United. It sees United as a fairly easy fixture. I mean, their away form's been really poor. Their XG away is poor. So I think if anyone owns Zaha, you're probably keeping him. Myself, obviously, I got him on free hit, but won't be getting him back in my normal team. I didn't have him before the free hit, and Brentford doesn't mind too much. Bold fixture with Leeds, that could be quite high scoring. So yeah, there's quite a lot of options here, so I can certainly see why free hitters are doing it this week. And a few bits on Twitter I saw this week that were reflecting that Gameweek38 does tend to bring some quite attacking hauls. I think just because the fixtures tend to be quite high scoring. So Captaincy, this is from Fancy Football Scout. Their Rate My Team algorithm on the left thinks that Salah is the best captain this week by only 0.2 of a point or so from Son, and then it's Kane, De Bruyne. So Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and Spurs dominating the Rate My Team. Fernandes is the only other player in there. And on the right, the captain poll, people are liking Spurs assets, basically Son and Kane. Understandably, with that Norwich fixture, they're down, and Spurs have got something to play for. As of Liverpool's, obviously City, Chelsea maybe not as much, and they've also got a Thursday game. But I don't know that Chelsea. Who do they have? Sorry, Watford. Yeah, Chelsea versus Watford. Obviously, what Leicester did to Watford, that could be quite one-sided as well. So yeah, there's quite a few options this week. I mean, my captain's currently on James. Sorry, I just need to cough again. That was a bit punty. I think I probably will go Son, or certainly that's going to be my default captain and bus captain, even though the following slide doesn't suggest that. But if I'm feeling punty, then James or Alonso maybe, or whoever I might bring in this week with a free transfer. I don't think I can afford Mount if I was to get rid of Coutinho, but he might be an option. So yeah, there's quite a few options here. Okay, so my team for next week is looking like this. Is obviously my pretty free hit team back. It's not too horrible to look at. Weghorst, he's got a good fixture, but not a particularly exciting person to see in the starting 11. But I think he is the best to have in the 11th spot, and then on the bench is not great. I don't think I have a goalkeeping dilemma either. So the team this week, just for anyone on audio, is Ramsdale in goal. In defence, James, Robertson, Cancelo, and Alonso. In midfield, Saka, Salah, Son, and Kulusevski. And up front, Nketiah and Weghorst. One free transfer, 0.5 in the bank. I think the probable things that will happen is I would sell Coutinho or Salah. I don't think I'll sell Salah if Klopp suggests he's going to play, because I think that could be a decent game for him. I know he's not flavour of the month at the moment, but it's risky, I think, getting rid of him. Okay, I'm not probably going to captain him, but I don't like that too much. So on the right, I've got a list of potential transfers I could make, and some of those can be afforded with Coutinho, but not all of them. I could get Bowen, for example, or I think Maddison is probably I've kind of done them in order actually, the more favourable ones at the top. So I do quite like Leicester. Maddison or Barnes would be quite good. I can't afford Mount. If I do Coutinho out, that would have to be Salah. KDB or Foden, I think that would only be for Salah. Mane or Diaz, the same if Salah's out. The Liverpool guys, they could be quite good in Salah's absence. Bowen's a bit of a punt. He's just on great form, as are the Brentford boys. And any of those, if I was to, I've got bench Weghorst there, that only applies. Sorry, if I'm bringing in Coutinho, but if I was doing Salah out, obviously I'd probably play Weghorst. Newcastle fixture might be quite decent, and Burnley might still have something to play for. I don't think I'm considering a hit. I know a lot of people are quite excited about Kane. The only way I could do that would be Salah out. So maybe if Klopp says something bad about Salah, and maybe if I get another injury, if Lacazette or something is in the fray starting instead of Nketiah or one of my other strikers, I could do Salah and a striker to, I don't know, say Maddison and Kane. But a -4 on the final day, that points that -4 has got to pay off in one game week, so it makes it a lot trickier to do. So I bet my fear there is the captain choice, which I think is quite tricky. As I said, I've got James on captain at the moment on screen, but I think I probably will go back to Son unless I hear something bad from Conte. And my fear as well is that premium forwards going big, so not owning Vardy and not owning Kane is a bit of a worry. I can't get to them easily without a -4, as I said, and I don't probably think I will do that, but obviously that's always a bit of a worry. Maybe this is the week that Kane really outscores Son. Nick's team, he has one free transfer also, obviously, having come off the free hit. He's back to his original team, and he's 0.2 in the bank. He has currently got his captain on Salah, which is interesting, and this is his bus team that he sent me, and Rice on Son. His bench, interesting, he's got Weghorst benched ahead of and playing Coutinho, sorry, so I've got that same dilemma, and I've got Coutinho. Have I got him third sub? Second sub? So that's quite interesting. But maybe his transfer plans involve Coutinho. But I didn't have a note of what he was thinking for this. He's got the big 5 defence, so I don't think that's going to change. Schmeichel and Dubravka, that's interesting. I think Rogers said that Schmeichel was going to play the last 2 games, so I think he's okay there, but obviously that was a bit of a surprise dropping of Schmeichel. But the rest of this looks pretty solid, so I'd imagine he's in a similar boat to me. He's waiting to see if Klopp says anything about Salah. If so, probably acts on that. But if not, he's probably thinking of ditching Coutinho. Bench of Dewsbury Hall, okay, he's got a good fixture, but he's gone off the ball a bit. Weghorst, there's some chat he might be rotated, and Burnley aren't big scorers, but the Newcastle fixture is good, so I don't mind playing him too much. And then Broyo has been really disappointing, so I guess third bench makes sense for that. And goalkeeper dilemma, Dubravka or Schmeichel. Yes, it's going to be Schmeichel, I think. Home to Southampton, that looks decent. So yeah, let me know what you think, Nick, in the comments. I'm not sure what your fear would be. I guess maybe it might be OR related. I don't know. Yeah, so you're I don't think mention yours. Oh yeah, 200 green arrows. So you're in the top 3K. Obviously 1K looks like it's going to be tricky now, and I think you were saying you weren't too bothered about, as long as you're in the top 10K, the difference of finishing 3K or 7K is not a biggie to you. So maybe finishing out, I don't know, maybe the lowest finish for a few game weeks or something would be quite a bit of a fear, but maybe not. Interesting to see what you do there. And the only other thing I'd say is obviously we're recording here before the Thursday game, so there's a lot of players, certainly in my team, that are involved in those matches. Weghorst, Coutinho, James and Alonso, so I'll be keeping an eye on those guys to see if there's any injuries. I mean, I think if I got 3 injuries, then a hit really comes into it because, okay, I don't mind playing share too much looking at that bus team that I've got, but after that, Coutinho and Broja aren't looking great. So yeah, hopefully on Thursday it doesn't bring anything too crazy with injuries. Okay, that is everything I had to cover from my side. And obviously, it's funny how when you're on your own, things go quite quickly. But for sure, it was a short episode because basically there's not a huge amount to cover with not many decisions left to make. As we said on last week's episode, we are hoping to do quite a lot of sort of post-season review and retrospective stuff. So already got some plans for those. But for sure, I haven't spoken to Nick just now. We're both pretty busy, so we'll try and squeeze in what we can and bring some more content to you over the close season. So yep, please like, subscribe, and share if you like what you've seen today. And yeah, we might have something more later in the week with the deadline on Sunday. Thanks very much, everybody. Hope you're having a good week, and speak to you all soon. Bye.